Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. In this video, I'm going to talk about the third semester BA BSW Generic English February 2024 examination, 2024 examination question paper under Bangalore University, and the same question paper can also be used as a practice question paper for the BNU students. So the BNU and the BU both have the same syllabus. So you have multiple benefits. You can utilize all the question papers, and these question papers will help you to practice and to get the best marks in the examination. Now let's have the discussion of this 2024 examination question paper of Bangalore University third semester BA. And here you have two sections. Section A consists the course book, or we can also say it as the main book here, which consists the play, and the play The Boy Comes Home and the five speeches. So now we will have the questions from the play, and out of 7 questions you are going to opt here 5 questions from the 5 questions, and that is for 2 marks. Question number 1: why does Philip want to sell his revolver? Because it has no purpose in London. Philip feels that this revolver has no purpose in London, so that he would like to sell his revolver. Who is the protagonist of the play? The main character of the play is here Philip. The greatest value of the new generation is freedom and independence. Who is Mary in the play? The Boy Comes Home. Mary is the parlor maid serving in the house of Uncle James. Why is Uncle James annoyed with Philip when they first meet? Uncle James is annoyed with Philip when they first meet because Philip is rude, ungrateful, and has a very bad attitude. Uncle James expects Philip to be more respectful, kind, and obedient, so that he feels annoyed with Philip when all the family members they meet very first time. Question number 6: what makes Emily tell James that he will find Philip different? When Philip went to fight against Germany, he was an immature boy of 19. Aunt Emily is very much impressed and tells Uncle James that Philip is mature and responsible. The war has greatly affected Philip's personality. Before going to the war, he used to do what he was asked to do. But now he makes his own decisions and nobody can dictate him. Army has taught him something. That's the reason that he's different now. Last question: who desires that Philip should join his jam business? Obviously, his Uncle James, desires that Philip should join his jam business. Now we have 5 marks questions, and out of the 3 questions, you need to select only two. Why does Philip say he has turned 25? Why does he say like this? Philip claims to have turned 25 when he was attempting to demonstrate to his uncle that he has matured sufficiently to live an independent life on his own. This conversation occurs when Uncle James refuses to give Philip the allowances, or rather the inheritance left behind by Philip's father before his death, which was kept under Uncle James' guardianship with a clear instruction that it should be given to Philip when Philip becomes 25 years old. So Philip must have gone through those physical and the emotional turmoil during the very long 4-year war in France with Germans, making difficult decisions and taking lives. In some ways, we can be certain that Philip eventually matured as a true man as a result of his experience as a leader to his troops and setting examples on many occasions when taking command of the life or death situation. The horrors of the war clearly shaped Master Philip into a young man, but true man who has witnessed the extremes of what a man can do to another man on the battlefield. So all such experiences have made him to say that he is now 25 years old. He has turned 25. Next question: what is the importance of the dream scene in the play The Boy Comes Home? In the play The Boy Comes Home, Philip returns to his uncle's house after a 4 years absence. There, he is welcomed by the strict adherence to his uncle's irrational rules. Philip's father has passed away, and Uncle James is now his guardian. Uncle James wishes to discuss Philip's future with him on the first morning following his arrival. Uncle is an old fashioned man with traditional views on how to treat young children. He believes he can order Philip to do whatever he wants. He's a short statured man with an unimpressive physical appearance, but he has cocooned himself in severity. His inner weakness clashes with his outward severity, causing him to have a strange dream. Because of his unconscious fear and insecurity, he sees Philip as a rude and bullying boy who tries to get his demand met with a threat of a gun in his dream. There's a dream scene. His nightmare is filled with violence and threats. He sees himself completely subjugated in the face of his arrogant nephew's terrorization and use of weapons. He imagines Philip as a brazen and impertinent man who will go to any length. So Uncle James is so engrossed in his dream that he's unable to recognize that it is merely fantasy. Uncle is negatively influenced by the dream. When Philip speaks to him in real life, he acts in a very kind and considerate manner in order to avoid the menacing situation of his dream. So Uncle James' conscious and unconscious minds merge to form his dream, which then directs his subsequent real attitude. So in his dream, what happens? He threatens his uncle, even he also shows the revolver. So he gets afraid. So in the real life situation, he agrees with all the conditions of Philip. Now, how does Philip make his uncle obey him? So, this is also the result of the dream only. It's a very continuous answer. I would say there is a connectivity with the previous question also. Philip proves himself a mature and responsible man to Aunt Emily by handling Mrs. Higgins and to Uncle James by relating the incident of Somme battlefield. Philip handles Mrs. Higgins, the cook, so successfully that when she leaves, she is speechless. Aunt Emily is very much impressed and tells Uncle James, well, I think that Philip's 4 years out there have made him more of a man. This shows that this shows that the uncle is also quite convinced that Philip is mature and responsible. Uncle James is not ready to give Philip the money left by his father until he's 25. He thinks that Philip is just like a schoolboy. To prove that he's mature enough, Philip relates the event that took place at Somme during the war. It happened that Philip's company was in trench. The German knew about them. The Germans killed the company commander. After his death, now Philip was the company commander. They had lost about half the company by that time. It was very difficult situation and he had a great responsibility on his shoulders. Lives of many soldiers dependent on him. He took a very mature and responsible decision. He moved the company to the other trench. Then he went back to the CO and told him that he had moved. Uncle James appreciated him and he said, I'm glad that you did well out there. I'm sure your colonel would speak kindly of you. The words spoken by Uncle James show that Philip has proved himself mature and responsible very successfully, and it has made him to obey whatever Philip would like to say. So now we have 10 marks questions here. And again, here you have three questions, and out of three, you need to select here only two questions. Answer any two. I have forgotten here. I'm sorry. You need to attempt here only one question. Please do correct here. Answer any one of the following questions 1 into 10, 10. So there's an error here. Any two questions, and each question is for 10 marks. So out of the three, you need to opt here only one question. Please do correct. Explain the comic elements in the play The Boy Comes Home. The play The Boy Comes Home is a light comedy. Firstly, we find comic element at the start of the play. Philip comes down for breakfast at 10 o'clock, whereas the breakfast is served at 8. Philip asks Mary, the parlor maid, to bring breakfast. Mary tries to frighten him and she says, I'm sure I don't know what Mrs. Higgins will say. She starts repeating this sentence. This sentence creates a lot of humor. Mrs. Higgins comes and shows her anger. However, Philip handles her so artfully that she has to tell a lie to save her job. She says, "Who said anything about going?" There's a great difference between how she comes and goes. This situation is very funny and makes us laugh. Secondly, Uncle James tells about his sacrifice in a very funny way. He says that he has done his part for the country by giving his nephew to the country, by suffering the shortage of potato, and by paying the excess profits tax. His claims are very funny. Thirdly, in the dream sequence, Philip talks about choosing a career. Philip says, "If I am 4 years behind, so is everybody else." After the dream, Uncle James repeats the same words and he also says, "Well, if you are 4 years behind, so is everybody else." So, this is also a very comic element. At the end of the play, Uncle James' condition creates a lot of comedy when he laughs with a forced heartiness. Philip says about the strict manager, he says, "Perhaps I would better bring my revolver." Uncle James says, "Ha ha, a good joke that, ha ha ha, a good joke, but only a joke, of course." So, this is how the play is filled with a lot of comic elements. Question number two: how does Philip prove himself a mature and responsible man? Philip proves himself a mature and responsible man to Aunt Emily by handling Mrs. Higgins and to Uncle James by relating the incident of Soam. Philip handles Mrs. Higgins, the cook, so successfully that when she leaves, she is speechless. Aunt Emily is very much impressed and tells Uncle James, "Well, I think that Philip's 4 years out there have made him more of a man." This shows that Philip is mature and responsible. Uncle James is not ready to give Philip the money left by his father until he's 25. He says that he thinks that Philip is just like a schoolboy. To prove that he's mature enough, Philip relates the event that took place at Somme during the war. It happened that Philip's company was in a trench. The German knew about them. The Germans killed the company commander. After his death, now Philip was the company commander. They had lost about half the company by that time. It was very difficult situation and he had a great responsibility on his shoulder. Lives of many shoulders dependent on him. He took a very mature and responsible decision. He moved the company to the other trench. Then he went back to the commanding officer and told him that he had moved. Uncle James appreciated him and he said, "I'm glad that you did well there. I'm sure your colonel speak kindly of you." The words spoken by Uncle James show that Philip has proved himself mature and responsible very successfully. Third question, 10 marks. Discuss the element of conflict in the play The Boy Comes Home. The first conflict between Philip and Uncle James is that Philip does not like his Uncle James' authoritative attitude and his strict discipline in the house. Philip says to Uncle James, "Well, we don't get on too well together." When we read the play The Boy Comes Home carefully, we find the authoritative attitude of Uncle James. He treats Philip as an inexperienced schoolboy. He thinks that he will decide everything for Philip. He says to Emily, "I have decided that the best thing he can do is to come into the business at once." He also further says he will fall in with my wishes. He is ready to use his authority as a patron. Aunt Emily asks him to let Philip decide his career. However, he says he may, but I don't see how he proposes to do it is so long as I hold the purse strings. This is what he has in his mind when he calls Philip. He just wants to tell Philip about his decision. Secondly, Philip wants the money left by his father to learn some profession. However, Uncle James doesn't want to give him the money until he is 25. Philip does not like it and he says, "Look here, Uncle James, do you really think that you can treat me like a boy who just left school?" Uncle James tells Philip that he will use the power of purse if it does not submit to his orders. Then Philip uses the power of revolver and bomb. He frightens Uncle James to death, and Uncle James is ready to do what Philip wants. Now we have here, so this is how we have discussed here the 30 marks questions from the play The Boy Comes Home. You can watch my special videos on The Boy Comes Home, and the links can be seen in the description box. Now we shall have the discussion of the questions from the five speeches, and out of questions you need to opt here only two questions each for 5 marks. Bring out the essence of conversation between Kalam and a 14-year-old girl. So I have collected only the limited answer. You can explore more answer. When Dr. Kalam was delivering his lecture at IIT Hyderabad, a 14-year-old girl asked his autograph. He asked her about her goal in life. She replied that she wants to live in a developed India. Dr. Kalam answered, he said, for her, you and I will have to build this developed India. You must proclaim India is not an underdeveloped nation, it's highly developed nation. So in this conversation, Kalam envisioned India as a developed nation and also conveyed that we are not inferior to any other nation. So we should consider India as the developed nation. That was the response by Kalam to the 14-year-old girl. Narrate in brief the speech given by Martin Luther King on I Have a Dream. So I have tried to give you a quite longest answer so that you can cover any question which is being asked from this speech. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech is one of the most celebrated oratory pieces in American history. King delivered the speech from the steps of Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963, as the final speech of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. The aim was to advocate for equal rights in access to freedoms and jobs. Though the American Constitution and the Declaration of Independence have promised equal rights, justice, and freedom to all the blacks and whites, this is not implemented in practice. In American societies, there is still strong racial discrimination, injustice, hatred, and other inequalities between whites and blacks. The blacks are hated, neglected, and tortured in practice. In American societies, there's still strong racial discrimination, injustice, hatred, and other inequalities between whites and blacks. The blacks are deprived of the rights, freedom, equality, and justice. They are treated to be slaves and are exiled in their own country. They live they live a very poor and miserable life among the rich whites. Only the whites can enjoy the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Martin Luther King Jr. addresses the American blacks and he says that they should continue their struggle until they establish equality, peace, and brotherhood in America. However, their struggle should be without violence. He says that they should fight for the rights without causing physical violence, which may cause bitterness and hatred. They should follow the path and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. If they keep on struggling in a disciplined way, they will achieve the aims. Martin Luther King hopes that one day the chains of hatred, racial discrimination, injustice, and inequalities will be broken. The new sun will rise with the rays of liberty, equality, peace, and brotherhood. Martin Luther King urges that there should be an immediate change in the conception of whites. Racial and color discrimination will weaken the foundation of America. He says that his dream is a dream of America. His dream is a dream of freedom, justice, equality. The color of the skin is not important. What is important in is humanity. Therefore, one day all discrimination and inequality will disappear. All the blacks and white will walk together, joining hands as brother and sister, At last, not only blacks, all the American people will be free. There will be sweet music of liberty, justice, and equality all over America. So these are the questions we have here. One more question. What is the importance of education in the words of Sarojini Naidu? So Sarojini Naidu's speech reference emphasizing on the importance of women or women education. Sarojini Naidu says that education makes a person more intelligent than she is. An educated woman can look after her house better than her illiterate sister. In Europe, too, types of critics similar to that in India today was once met with who cried, who would look after children, who would light the lamps, will the women be allowed to bring dishonor to us menfolk? Where is that type of critics gone? Hundreds of thousands of European men go to the battlefield with the consolation in the hearts that their educated wives will look after the house in their absence. Could Indians have the same consolation? Japan founded universities for women, and benefits from these universities have been reaped by others than the Japanese also. So this is how there's an importance of there's an importance of education in the life of women according to Sarojini Naidu. So this is how we have discussed here 40 marks questions from the play The Boy Comes Home and the five speeches. Now we are going to have a discussion of the 20 marks question, and this 20 marks completely you can gather only by your common sense and by your creativity. So very first question you have here, presentation skills. And here, especially with the third semester the third semester BA, you have this question in a very different manner. Here you will be given a passage. You can pause the video and you can read this passage. You will be given a passage, and from this passage, after reading the passage, you need to create the slides. So for that one, you need to prepare the slide like this. So when I read this passage, I found that this passage is about effects of smoking. So your slide one should be the topic slide. Slide 2 onwards, you should start writing heading and subheadings. You can see here, heading is here, subheading you can see here, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, and slide 6. So you can decorate your slide. You can also draw the image and you can make your slide more effective. So this is how you need to prepare the PowerPoint slides. Now you have one more choice where there's a question, write a demonstrative presentation on how to get an Aadhaar card. So if you don't want to opt the PPT slides from a passage or directly you want to write in your own words, you can opt this option also. So here it's a demonstrative presentation where how to get an Aadhaar card, slide 1, topic, slide 2, instruction. When you say demonstrative, it will be in the form of instructional mode. Slide 2 you can go through, slide 3, then slide 5 in the instructional mode, slide 5, slide 6, right? Then afterwards you have here last slide. Thank you. So this is how you need to opt the presentation skills question. You can also watch my special video on presentation skills. The link is in the description box or in the um, playlist. Next question you have here, paragraph writing. Again, here you have two choices with the links, with the outline or with the important key points. You need to develop paragraph. So write a paragraph describing your college using the following hints. So you can draft a paragraph by using those following hints. So you can read this answer. This answer is just a sample answer. You can do better than this. You can pause the video and you can read the answer, right? So the paragraph writing plays very important role. You need to prepare the sentences, draft the sentences in such a manner where there's a link of the ideas, topic, sentence, content, conclusion is very important. Then in option to this, you have another paragraph is here, celebration of sports day in your college using the key points. So you can pause the video. So like this, you'll be having here two questions. One is a demonstrative, one is the informative paragraph, and one is the celebration, sports day, college day, etc. Next question here, you have one more question with a choice, comparative paragraph, where you need to compare the two important facts. Home food versus homemade food. Home food versus homemade food. So you can pause the video, you can read the answer. So what would I say here? Use the keywords and develop the paragraph in your own words. You'll be getting here the best marks. So paragraph writing is for 5 marks. Now you have question from the letter writing. Here again you'll be given, you have quite 2 3 questions, multiple questions, 3 questions you have, and out of 3 questions you need to opt here only one question. So you have purchased a laptop from Bajaj showroom in Delhi, but after a few months it developed a serious fault. Write a complaint letter to the manager of the showroom asking for immediate replacement of the same. So sender's address Manish and the date, then the receiver, the sales manager, Bajaj showroom, Chandni Chowk, New Delhi. Salutation, dear sir, madam. Subject complaint regarding the laptop. Receipt dated 10th Feb 2024. Body of the letter. I had purchased Dell company's laptop i7 worth rupees 80,000 and it went on well for the first few weeks. Later, it was found that it used to get shut down after each 40 minutes. It may be due to the low battery quality. As per the warranty card, you need to do the replacement of it. I kindly request you to replace the laptop immediately. Thanks, yours faithfully, or yours sincerely, or yours truly. Name of the sender, Manish. So, like this, you need to develop the letter. In option to this, you have here write a reply letter to to the above mentioned complaint letter. Write a reply one. So now Bajaj will write a reply to Manish, same format, sender's address, receiver's address, date, dear sir, subject reply to the complaint regarding laptop. With reference to your complaint letter dated 10th March 2024, we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience done by us or caused by us. We have explored the cause of the technical fault of the laptop. We have found that the packing was not done properly. We have warned the packaging section personnel to take extra precautions in future. We have already dispatched a new laptop of the same configuration and hope you will receive it soon. We assure you that such complaints will not occur in future. Thank you. Yours faithfully, Manager, Bajaj Showroom. Right? Now you have one more question with the letter writing. Um, Letter of inquiry. You are Anvita, resident of 121 Jai Hind Colony, Bangalore 79, wants to take up a summer camp course in Tally. Write a letter of inquiry to the director of NICT Computex seeking details on the course content, eligibility, fees, timings, future scope of the course. So now sender Anvita with address given in the question, date 10th March 2024, and receiver the director NICT Computex Vijayanagar Bangalore. Then dear sir madam, then subject inquiry about tele course. My second year BCom examination is over and I'm looking to do some value added courses in summer vacation. I'm pleased to see your summer camp course I'm pleased to see your advertisement about summer camp course in Tally. I think this course would help me to understand the practical aspects of Tally. I would like to join this course, especially the evening batch. I kindly request you to mail the course content, eligibility fee, timings, and future scope of the course. Kindly mail me on xyz at email and gmail.com. Thank you. Yours truly, Anvita. So the important is here left margin format you are supposed to follow. That is the best format, and all the components of the letter should come on the left margin. So that's a letter writing 5 marks question, 3 choices, select only one. Last section of a question paper where you have here 3 questions. One is here commercial advertisement, brochure, and poster and brochure. So first question, draft a commercial advertisement for the inauguration of language lab. That's for 5 marks. And you can do like this: unveiling our state of the art language lab, embark on a journey of linguistic excellence with a cutting edge technology and personalized instruction. Join us for the grand inauguration and unlock new horizons in communication. Elevate your language skills with us today. Join us the inauguration of Ingphone Language Lab. Contact, email, date, and so and so. So that's the commercial advertisement. You can also you can cut short it. I've given few more expressions. Second question, you need to design a poster to promote the importance of exercise in maintaining in mental and physical fitness. So you can see here, you need to draw the images, you need to write the sentences in a very different font size, different style, so that, and you can also use a color pencil to make it more impressive. That's about poster writing. Last question, which choice you have here? Brochure writing. That's quite tough one. Brochure on the prevention of cruelty to animal. So this image I have borrowed from pngwing.com. So I mentioned the source as a courtesy. So you can go through such images. You can also go through. So when you write the brochure, you need to give a lot of details, lot of images you need to mention here. You may have to write in paragraphs also. That's the difference between brochure and poster. So I would advise you to opt either commercial, either the advertisement writing or poster writing. So I have done the videos on all the topics of third semester BA, Generic English, Bangalore University and Bangalore North University. Please go through the playlist of this video, as well as you can also go through the description box of this video. You'll get all the lessons links. And if you like this video, click on the like button. If you are not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe, because in the fourth semester also you'll be getting more and more videos and more question papers. So wish you good luck for the forthcoming examination. Thank you so much for watching this video. Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.